Let's go over Star Wars Episode 9, the final film of the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy alike. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, Episode 9 has a lot of prequel trilogy continuity coming into the film by J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. They're all working very hard on making this the best Star Wars movie of the sequel trilogy. We even know by Donald Gleason that we are due for a lot of surprise in Episode 9, which is really exciting to hear. But looking at everything that we have been going over these past couple of weeks or so when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art, and storyboard descriptions, I wanted to focus in on the character of Kylo Ren and Darth Vader / Anakin Skywalker. Now, we do know that Darth Vader is the face of Star Wars, and so is Anakin. I mean, that individual, that character is really what started it all. I mean, he is the one who brought Luke Skywalker into this world and moving on forward. So looking on, everything here with Episode 9, we do know that this movie is going to have a lot of connections to past films. And we have been going over some of the storyboard descriptions, one of which specifically has all to do with a freaky Darth Vader scene. A description of Kylo Ren inside of a medical room. He is walking down a hallway as he hears somebody screaming in pain. Kylo walks into another room to discover Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, with his suit on, but mask off, pinned to a wall where heavy machinery is replacing his old mechanical legs and arms with new ones. Ben walks closer to the Darth Vader figure in pain and examines his burns before a piece of machinery swings behind Kylo that eventually puts on the mask of Darth Vader. Kylo Ren turns around and exits the room and awakes from his sleep in his chambers, almost mirroring the nightmare Anakin had in Revenge of the Sith. Very interesting stuff for sure, guys. I gotta say that we can see a lot of parallels coming our way into Episode 9 with, of course, the prequel trilogy. And if Kylo Ren gets to have this nightmare in the finalized version of the film, that would directly be a parallel to what Anakin Skywalker experienced in Revenge of the Sith, of his wife dying of childbirth, whereas in this part, Kylo Ren will be witnessing a nightmare of his grandfather, Anakin / Darth Vader, going through all of the different changes of his mechanical legs and his burns and his wounds, etc. So, looking at everything for Star Wars Episode 9, this specifically would seem like a horror scene to me. And I don't know about you guys, but when we were watching The Force Awakens, a lot of people were saying how when Rey and BB-8 enter the basement of Maz Kanata's castle, the way it was set up, it was almost as if it was a horror film in a way. You hear the screams in the distance of a young Rey. You hear her yelling for help, and she opens the door, and it has like that creepy music, and when she opens the chest, she hears Darth Vader's breathing. I mean, J.J. Abrams does have a way with kind of mixing some horror elements to a Star Wars film. And we also saw this slightly in Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, when Darth Vader actually attacks the rebels on the Tantive. But looking at Episode 9 here, I think that this would be the ultimate freaky situation for Kylo. I think this would definitely be probably one of the worst nightmares that we could possibly see in a Star Wars movie. Now, the last major nightmare that we saw in a Star Wars film, to me at least, was of course the one that we saw in Revenge of the Sith when Anakin sees and witnesses the death of his wife Padme Amidala through childbirth. We could actually be getting the next big thing just like that in Episode 9 if this does end up coming into fruition, where Kylo Ren sees Anakin Skywalker, his grandfather, up against a wall, being replaced of his old mechanical legs and arms with new ones by machinery. Now, I don't know if you guys have been reading up on a lot of the comics and different canon pieces out there for Star Wars as a whole, but you will know that Vader actually does get his legs and arms replaced every now and again in order to keep him up to date. And that, to me, is something that should be explored on film, and it seems as so that they are trying to toy around with that idea of that being a thing in Star Wars Episode 9. Now, we got a little glimpse of Vader's life in Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, in the Bacta tank and stuff like that. I want to see more stuff like this. I want to see more of Darth Vader's side of the story, where it's not necessarily him just terrorizing people. I want to see what he goes through on a personal level, and Kylo Ren's nightmare could very well be a conduit just to that. But let me know what you guys think about all of this below in the comments section. I think that Kylo Ren and Darth Vader definitely do have a big connection with each other. Yes, we do know that they are grandfather and grandson. What I mean by connection is you can definitely see all the different parallels here and there, such as Kylo Ren going through a nightmare. Anakin went through nightmares as well and had different visions. That, to me, I think is a best way to go in order to implement a lot of prequel content into the character of Kylo Ren. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.